Shalom, shalom. Our praises and glory belong to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors unto the elders and to the apostles of great in the stone, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Alright, the men that are pushing this word out, in the highways and the byways, in all truth and sincerity. Alright, this is a brother your call coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Heading into the fields, and as usual, you try to keep your mind on the word of the Most High, the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and it's meditating on a few things. And one of the things I was meditating on was, your health. All right, your health, your body. All right, and fasting. Because the benefits of fasting, all right, goes so far, but sometimes you're so caught up in this present world, all right, and the dainties of this world that you forget to fast. And the only time you really pay attention to fasting is the Day of Atonement. All right, now the scriptures say in Sirach chapter 30, I believe, all right, it say that a wise man will have care for his meat, will have care for his meat. So he gonna pay attention to what he's eating, all right, care for his meat. Let me see. All right, let me get it. CARE. Let me get the precept. Yeah, Sirach chapter 30 and 25, it says, a cheerful and good heart will have care for his meat and diet. Alright, and this is what we're supposed to, the spirit that we're supposed to be in is a cheerful heart. Alright, a cheerful and good heart, and have care for your meat, meaning that you pay attention to what you're eating, how much you're eating. Alright, and you're taking care of this vessel, because this vessel is what going to take you from point A to point B. You understand? The scripture even go on to say what? That death, all right, is better than a body, all right, that is full of sickness. Roughly paraphrasing, it's better to die than to live in a body that is continually full of sickness, a whole bunch of complications that you can't put your hand on, or even if you know what the sickness is, you can't heal it, because Esau like to tell you that these things are incurable. All right, and we all know that this is false. All right, because the Lord, Sirach chapter 39, all right, it say what? To honor a physician, because the Most High put a spirit. Sirach 38, it says 38 and 1, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him, for the Lord had created him. All right, so the Most High had created a physician to use these herbs, all right, to heal the body. So there's no sickness that the herbs can cure. All right, even if it's Esau and his man-made sicknesses, because at the end of the day, even if it is inorganic, all right, it all started from organic matter. So guess what? The herbs, all right, have the power to cure it, but obviously that healing needs to come from the Most High. All right, now let me circle back on the point I was making. Fasting. All right, because what the fasting does, it allows your body to heal itself. That's one of the benefits of fasting. All right, if you suffering from different sicknesses, and the countless documentaries, videos, documents, research done on the power of fasting. And as of late, you see a lot of these doctors, all right, even your general practitioners and specialists or persons that was, you know, once going after the conventional medical system, all right, the Lord now put the Spirit on them to understand the power of fasting. So they coming out now and they telling you that, look, through fasting, it allows your body to heal itself. All right, if you're suffering or if you're having trouble with bloating, for example, all right, by fasting, all right, it allows, you know, the body to reset, you know, your gut to reset, because that's one of the reasons why you know, you would see your stomach all bloated after you had a meal, all right, is because, one, the fermentation, all right, and then your body has so much of the unhealthy bacteria in it, you know, there's a set of fermentation and you know, swelling of the gut, basically, you know. Yeah, all right. So fasting does that. All right. Another thing that you want to use, all right, is probiotics. All right. You know, take a probiotic, you know, once a day, all right, or depending on how the Spirit move you, all right, because depending on whatever you use, what you'll find is that it'll move your bowels, all right. You'll have a frequent motion, which you're supposed to, all right. You're supposed to use the toilet at least once a day, all right. Anything outside of that, if you're not going a day or 2 days passing and you haven't used the toilet, you gotta check that out, all right. It's time to do a colon cleanse, all right. Flush the bacteria out, you see. So using the probiotics allow you to have healthy bacteria in your gut, all right, and it helps with your digestion, you know, allows you to absorb the necessary nutrients and then pass out the waste, you understand? And by doing that, what you'll find is that bloating, that bubble gut would also be, you know, controlled, all right. It will be controlled. All right. Now, another thing too, you obviously gotta watch what you're eating. All right. A lot of beer, bread, white flour, rice, things that can produce that sugar. All right. You know, the carbohydrates that when broken down turns into sugar. All right. Basically ferments in your gut. You know, and especially when you're not, you know, using the toilet as you should. You know, you end up with that swollen gut, you see, especially after you eat, your gut all swollen, looking puffy. You know, that's not supposed to be, you know. Your gut's supposed to be intact, you see, because one of the things that you know, a lot of these fitness influencers and fitness gurus, you know, would have you doing you know, a whole bunch of exercise and whatnot, all right, thinking that that's gonna fix the issue, but the issue is far you know, goes far beyond just your sedimentary lifestyle, all right. The issue goes back to your diet, you know, goes back to your habits. You see, so fix your diet and fast. All right. Now, different fasts you could do. Different fasts you could do. All right. Now, when you go into you know, our ways and customs, we never used to eat 3 meals a day. All right, that's a thing of Esau. That's a thing of the Edens. You know, they tell you that you're supposed to be eating 3 meals a day. You know, that's not true. All right, that's why you feel sluggish, you know, and all tired after you finish eating. You know, because your body is using so much energy to break down the food that you're eating. you know, and then you're doing it so frequent too. You see, you're eating a whole lot of nonsense, and then you're eating it a whole lot of times or frequently. You see, so it's a whole lot of a lot that you're doing. You see, so cut back on the quantity and the frequency. 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day. All right, a healthy way to do the fasting is using the 18 and 6 intermittent fasting model, where you would fast for 18 hours and eat for 6 hours. All right, and a great way of doing it is where you would fast from 6 in the evening. All right, let your last meal be before 6 in the evening, so maybe 5:30. Give yourself an half an hour. 5:30 in the evening, all right, or 6 o'clock. You know, is what it is. And then your first meal being 12 at noon. All right, so that's 18 hours, and then you eat between 12 noon, and 6 p.m. again. All right, so you eat between that period and fast, you know, for the 18 hours. All right, and what you're gonna find happening is your appetite gonna cut, your energy level gonna shoot through the roof. All right, another benefit of fasting outside of eating less and your appetite cutting, or your energy increasing, is that your clarity will come back. All right, your memory, your brain will start functioning properly. All right, a lot of us suffer from brain fogs. You see, where your mind is all cloudy, you know, and that's them parasites, you know, causing, you know, that brain fog. You see, so by fasting, your memory gonna come back. All right, and you're gonna be able to think properly. You're gonna think straight. You're gonna become 10 times sharper. All right, you're gonna become so sharp, you know, where the little words that, you know, a man might, the subtleties that a man might use, you could pick up on it. All right, certain body language and thing, you're gonna notice it, because your energy is not being spent trying to break down these overly processed food. All right, and trying to, you know, your body always trying to get some rest, you know, because you're overworking it. All right, and obviously from that, what you're gonna find is, because of the increased energy level, you know, you're gonna be awake for longer hours without feeling fatigue. You see, because that's what these food do to you. All right, especially these over processed food, these canned foods, you know, and these things that they spending, you know, months just to create it. All right, they put in a bunch of, first they take the meat, then they gotta ship it across, you know, continent. All right, then they gotta cut it up and grind it, then they gotta add the preservatives. All right, then they gonna put it in these different cans or containers to keep it. You see, now when your body tries to break that down, it gotta work so hard in order to process it, or to break it down, to make it into something that your body can actually consume. And a lot of the times what would happen is that your body actually can't break it down and consume it, so it turns into insoluble fats. All right, and it's just there in your body. You see, now circling back to the fasting is one of the ways, or the best way, to break down, all right, what they call visceral fat, which is the fat around your stomach. All right, that's stubborn fat. All right, cardio is not the best way, you know. It's actually we say fasting. You see, because when you do cardio, your body needs energy and it needs it needed fast. All right, and you're gonna take the easiest route to get that energy to supply your body, which in most cases is your protein. All right, which comes from, you know, your tissues in some cases. All right, if it's not available in the food that you eat, you're gonna take the protein from your tissues and then break that down, because fat takes longer to break down, you know. So that's why the best way to get rid of the visceral fat is by fasting. It's you starving your body of proteins and other readily available sources of energy and forcing your body to now go and break down the fat. All right, and majority of your energy is not spent running and jumping and exercising. Is actually spent keeping you alive, keeping your heart beating, your lungs breathing, you understand, and your bodily functions intact. All right, your brain working. You know, that's where most 70% probably. All right, you know, I gotta check up the actual stats, but you know, 70% or more of your actual energy that your body produce, you know, would be spent is keeping you alive on your normal bodily functions, and probably just 5% of your total energy your body produce is ever going to be spent on you running, jumping, exercising, and that is you know, even if you're a gym person, you know, going to the gym 5 days a week. All right, check it up. That's facts. You see? So fasting, fast. All right, fast. You see? So Lord's willing, this one was edifying. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Shalom.